Hey guys, welcome back to E-Bike Random Adventures. Today we're going to be taking a look at this folding electric bike. This one is called the Windhorse W4A. This bike does come with a 720 watt, 983 watt peak geared hub drive motor in the rear. It is powered by a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery. They do claim a pretty long range on this one, 70 miles on pedal assist, up to 40 miles on throttle only. I'm a little bit heavier rider at 220 pounds. We will take this bike out and see what kind of range I get on it. This bike does come with a 20 by 3 inch Chaoyang branded fat tires, giving this bike an overall weight capacity of 330 pounds. You do get a heavy duty rear rack in the back that can carry up to 25 kilograms. This rack is welded right into the frame. This is a folding electric bike, so you can pack this thing up, put it in the back of your vehicle. The bike does have an overall weight of 55 pounds. It does have a little grab handle welded into the frame right here. Has a little bit of weight to it, but you can pick this up and pack it away. Overall, they say the bike can fit riders from 5'1" up to 6'3". I am a 6-foot rider with 32-inch inseams. Let me put this seat on minimum and show you how a 6-foot rider looks on the bike with the seat on minimum. It does have the quick release seat. You can open that really quickly with no tools. Put the seat down. That's about minimum there. Let me step over the bike. I do have a few inches below me, so a shorter rider could ride this bike, especially if you get up on your tippy toes. You'll be able to get on the bike if you are really small. Let's see how long that seat post is. It does have a really long seat post, guys. The seat post is 28.6 millimeters if you want to get a suspension seat post, but the bike does come with a nice fat cushy seat on it already. That's going to be nice and comfortable. This is the minimum insert line. That's how far you got to put it down at least. Let me tighten it up. The seat is pretty high, guys. I'm not going to attempt to get on this, but definitely a 6'3" rider could ride this bike. You also do get adjustable handlebars on this one, so if you are really small, you can put these way down. Let's see how high they go. That's about the maximum extent right there. So that's the seat and handlebars on maximum. The bike is pretty big when you put the seat and handlebars up. There is no suspension in the back here, but you do get the dual crown fork suspension up front, and the seat overall is pretty comfortable. This is about what my pedal stroke would look like on this bike. I probably could put my seat up just a little bit higher. Okay, since this is a folding e-bike, let me fold this up for you and show you how it looks. First, you want to put your handlebars down. Push the red button here, unlock this folding mechanism. That will allow the handlebars to lean over. Here in the center, you pull this lever open right here, swing this little arm out, and you do have to push this up a little bit to fully unlatch it, and then the bike can break over. Next, go ahead and put your kickstand up. Then go ahead and make use of this handle that's welded into the frame. Pick the bike up and fold it. Pretty easy, guys. And then you can set it down right here on this little metal knee. And that's how the bike looks folded up, guys. Nice and compact. You could get that in the back of an SUV or throw it in the back of your truck and save a little bit of space. All right, let me unfold the bike. It's just going to be real quick. Put the kickstand down, fold the handlebars up, lock your center latch, lock your handlebar latch, put your handlebars back up, and you're ready to ride. The bike does have folding pedals if you want to fold those up also. Another thing about this bike, guys, is the battery is quickly removable using the key. This seat does flip up right here. That way you can pull this battery out. That way you can make this whole folding bike a little bit lighter when you're picking it up. All right, let me get you in here a little closer and take a look at the details. Starting in the front, here's your 20 by 3 inch fat tires. They are branded Chaoyang. They do have a knobby tread pattern on them, but it's a little bit lighter of a knobby tread, guys. Still pretty good for the road. Down here, you do have a quick release skewer. You can pop this open and remove this tire without any tools. Here's a look at your front suspension. There are no adjustments on this front suspension. And here's your headlight. The headlight is adjustable. This is the 4-beam headlight. I will show you what that looks like on the wall. Up here in the front, you do get a place where you can mount a basket. The wiring is in a sheath here. It does say Windhorse on it. This bike does come with plastic fenders. And here's a look at your frame. It does say Windhorse down the side. This is your folding latch mechanism. This is the welded in handle. Back in the back, here's your 25 kilogram capacity heavy duty rear rack. This thing is welded right to the frame, so this is going to be nice and heavy duty, guys. Here's a look at the pedal crankset. It does have some medium length crank arms, and it does have folding pedals. Back in the rear, you do get the Shimano tourney derailleur. The bash guard is already installed, and you do get 7 Shimano gears on the cassette. There's the numbers right there. Here's the numbers on your 983 watt peak geared hub drive motor. It does say 48 volts. The battery's mounted down here in the center rear. This is the charging port for the battery. This one does take the 5mm style charger. It does have a carrying handle. You do get a power level indication right here. Press this button. It will light up. On the opposite side, the battery does have a replaceable fuse. You do get the key to turn the power on and off of the bike, and you can remove the battery with this key. The bike does have mechanical disc brakes, guys, with 160mm rotors. You get the same setup in the front and the rear. I don't see any branding on these. There's the rear brakes and the kickstand. Here's a closer look at the seat. It is pretty comfy, pretty cushy. Over here on the left of the handlebars, you do get some basic rubber ergonomic hand grips. These are your mechanical brake levers. These are cable brakes, guys, so you can adjust the cables right here. Over here you get an independent light switch and horn. This does work when the bike is off. That's your headlight, pretty bright. This is the horn, pretty loud. Right here's the little display control. Press and hold the M, the bike will power up. You do get a color display on this one. Large mile per hour reading. This is your pedal assist level, your odometer down here at the bottom. If you cycle through the M, you get odometer, trip, time, voltage, back to odometer. Your pedal assist level out of the box. This one is set up with 3 levels of pedal assist. You got the plus and minus. 1, 2, 3. You can go into the P settings and change that to 5 levels of pedal assist if you like. Up here in the upper right is your battery level indication. This bike also does have cruise control, guys. If you hold the throttle for a long enough time, the cruise control will kick on and it will indicate right up here at the top. Over on the right side, you do get the 7-speed Shimano gear shifter, and you do get the little half-twist throttle. This bike does register about 19-20 miles per hour. Back in the rear, it does have a really bright taillight, and it does have a flashing brake light. Alright guys, let's take the Windhorse W4A out for a ride. Alright guys, we're out here on the Windhorse W4. Let's pedal this thing with no power at all. Actually pretty easy. If you are in gear 1, you can definitely get this thing going with no power. So yeah, if you ran out of battery for some reason, you could get home slowly. Alright, let's try pedal assist level 1. This bike feels pretty torquey. Let me turn the pedals, we'll see how fast the power comes on. Alright, it comes on pretty fast. It does have a little ramp up to it, so it doesn't like jolt you all at once. Although it does with the throttle. When you pull the throttle, it gives you the power a little bit faster, a little bit harder. Alright, let's try pedal assist level 2. Yeah, it ramps on with the pedaling, so that's pretty nice. Start gearing up. This one is set up with just 3 speeds, 3 pedal assist levels, so pedal assist level 2, we're already up to gear 6 for a comfortable cadence. And this is probably where you would want to ride the bike most of the time. Pedal assist 2, gear 6 or 7. Nice pedaling speed, it's giving us 15. Let's flip it around here. Let's go for pedal assist 3. Level 3. Power's ramping up. Definitely going to end up in gear 7. All right, showing us a little bit over 19. You can still keep up pedaling at top speed, so that's pretty good. All right, so they say the bike has a 720 watt motor that peaks out at 938 watts. Let's stop right here. Let's go for this hill climb. Pedal assist level 3, that is the highest level. I'm gonna use the throttle here. Got a decent acceleration. Let's see what we get up the hill here. All right, bottomed out at about 13.5. Right in line with a typical 750 watt motor. It's got pretty good acceleration to get you across the road and stuff like that without hesitation. The throttle comes on right away, there is no delay there. If you hold the throttle steady for a little while, you do get the cruise control feature. Pretty cool on a budget e-bike. Let's see if you can do no hands on this bike. You can. It's slightly tall and wants to lean over a little bit, but you can do no hands on this bike. A lot of the folding bikes, they like to lean over from one side to the other, but this one is not too bad. Pretty stable. Get up a little farther, we will check out the brakes. Then we will go up to the radar gun, do a top speed run, see if it matches up with this display. Pedaling this bike feels pretty good. I do need to raise my seat up just a little bit to be in a slightly better pedaling position. But overall, the pedaling is nice. The pedals are in a good position. All right, pedal assist level 3 here. Let's get up to top speed and we will check the brakes. Seems like top speed is about 19 and a half. We will pull the brakes right here at the end of this pavement. Mechanical disc brakes. Wow. Actually stopped the bike quite well. Unbranded 160 millimeter mechanical disc brakes. This bike is light enough at 55 pounds. The brakes worked really well, guys. They don't have the pull feel of hydraulic brakes. They are mechanical brakes. But when you pull them all the way, they definitely can bring this bike to a stop quick. Cruise control kicked in. You can pull the brakes to cancel the cruise, or you can cycle the throttle again and that cancels the cruise also. Let's turn around here and do our acceleration run. We're not going to need quite as much room today because this one does top out at 19, 20 miles an hour. So, all right, pedal assist 3 from a dig. Let's go. Throttle only. And there's basically top speed. I can feel the power cut off. All right, so it does match up. The radar gun and the onboard, both showing us 19. This is showing us 19 and a half. So you're right there knocking on the door, right at about 20 miles an hour. Cruise control's on. If you hold the plus and minus, get into the P settings, you can cycle your way to the P5, P05. You can change it from 3 levels of pedal assist to 5 levels of pedal assist, or you can turn it all the way off. 3 is fine on this bike, but if you want the 5 levels of pedal assist, just turn it to a 5. Let's go to the P8. Doesn't let you change anything on the P8, so I don't think you can unlock this bike any farther. The website does say this bike goes 20 miles an hour, so I do think that is the top speed on this bike. Overall, the little bike feels pretty peppy, guys. It's got a good amount of torque to it. It seems like they went for a little bit more low-end grunt than high top speed on this one. So it feels pretty strong. Does have a 330-pound weight limit. Let's take the little trail right here. All right, even on level 2, it has enough power to get through this. Let's run down here. So this is just on level 2, guys. The bike does have plenty of power, plenty of torque for some light off-roading. We'll go across here and we'll run down the trail. I'm just going to stay seated and run down this trail. We'll see how the bike feels. So far, feels pretty good. That front fork is taking up the bumps. All right, I hit a big bump there on the rear, and I did feel that. Some big bumps here. I'm going to stand up. Overall, it can ride just fine off-road, guys. If you do see a big bump, you can stand up off the seat because there is no suspension in the back. You could put a suspension seat post on this bike. That would make your ride a lot softer. Let me put it on level 3. We're going to cross this little creek here. See if we got enough power to get up this hill. This is really tough, tall, wet grass uphill. It's pulling us up. Not super fast, but we're getting there. This is a really tough test for the bikes right here. But we were able to make it up. So the bike doesn't have like tons of power, but it does have enough power for you to do some light off-roading, some trail riding, stuff like that. It's going to be no problem. I am 220 pounds, so if you are a little bit lighter, the bike's going to do even better. Overall, the bike has enough power to get out here and have a little bit of fun. Let's get back across this little creek here. Pretty wet today. Let's head back to the road. Got to get up this hill here. All right, we made it up. All right, guys, we are at like 6.7 miles. Off-roading does take a toll on the battery. Don't forget that. You're going to get a lot more efficiency and range out here on the road. I am going to take the bike now, run it around a bit here, put some miles on it, and see where we end up at range. The bike does have a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery, so it's kind of like a medium-sized battery on this one. Some of them come with 10 amp hours, some of them come with 20 hours. This one is 15.6. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of pedaling today. I just don't feel like pedaling today. I did a whole lot of pedaling yesterday, so it's going to be mostly throttle only. Now that I raised the handlebars up and I put the seat up a little bit, I feel like I'm in a much better pedaling position. Pedaling feels a lot more natural now. Don't forget you do have a horn on this bike. And the bike does have a headlight. When you turn it on, it does indicate up here on the top. Overall, the bike is nice and smooth, nice and quiet. You do get a little bit of whine out of these non-tread tires, but I think it sounds pretty cool. And you can just barely hear the geared hub motor. It's not very loud at all. So it's a nice, quiet, peaceful e-bike to ride. Get some nice sunset views in here. Part of the joy of riding your e-bike. All right, guys, I'm going to run out these miles. I will be back to give you my final thoughts on the Windhorse W4. All right, guys, I am going to end the ride here. Let me give you a look at this headlight. Pretty bright beam on this one. Let's take a look at the taillight. It is a nice bright taillight. And when you pull the brakes, This one does have the flashing feature. I am a couple miles from home here, but let me show you where I ended up on range. We did put 16.2 miles on this ride. There are 2 battery bars left, and I got about 2.5 miles to get home. So this is going to end up being a 18, 19 mile ride on this bike. I do believe that this bike can get about between 20 and 25 miles of electric only range. I did very little pedaling on this ride, guys. If you did put in a lot of your own pedaling on this bike, guys, you might get closer to 30 miles of range. The bike is a pretty good pedaler, but it does have that slight delay and ramp up as the power comes on. You can kind of bypass that with the throttle, because when you give it throttle, it gives you power right away. So if you don't want to wait for that little ramp up to happen with the pedal assist, you can just get on the throttle and then you can continue your pedaling. It was a decently comfortable ride. The front suspension is pretty good, guys. You do get the 20x3 inch fat tires, and the seat is actually not too bad at all. Has some nice cushion on it. Overall, I think this is a pretty good looking bike for a folding e-bike, guys. This is the black color, but this is also available in white if you like the white color. If there was any weak points about the bike that I would like to mention, it would probably be the folding pedals feel a little bit on the spongy side. I would replace those with some solid pedals. Unless you're folding the bike up a whole lot and you really need those folding pedals, I would go ahead and put some regular pedals on there. Alright guys, if the Windhorse W4 is the bike for you, I will put the link for this bike in the description below the video. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel for more e-bike and scooter content like this. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next one.